This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Asian buyers are eyeing more purchases of sour crude from the United States as the price of a key export grade hit a two-week low, under pressure from sales of oil from U.S. emergency reserves, trade sources said on Tuesday. A rise in U.S. sour crude exports to Asia will displace demand and depress prices for Middle East staples such as Oman, Upper Zakum from the United Arab Emirates and Iraq's Basra crude. U.S. Mars crude ended trading last week at the widest discounts in more than 2 weeks on Friday as export interest waned.
Iran resumed fuel exports to Afghanistan a few days ago following a request from the new Afghan government, which feels empowered by the U.S. withdrawal to buy the sanctioned nation's oil more openly, an Iranian official told Reuters. The Sunni Muslim group seized power in Afghanistan last week as the United States and its allies withdrew troops after a 20-year war. The price of gasoline in Afghanistan reached $900 per ton as many Afghans drove out of cities, fearing reprisals and a return to a harsh version of Islamic law the Taliban imposed when in power 2 decades ago.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
India's July crude oil imports slumped to their lowest in a year, tanker arrival data from industry sources showed, and are likely to rebound in August as refiners are expected to boost runs after maintenance of units. Crude imports in July fell 12.5% month-on-month to 3.4 million barrels per day, BPD, but rose 12.8% year-on-year, as refiners shut units for maintenance and cut crude imports anticipating lower fuel demand during the monsoon season. Government data released on Tuesday showed India's oil imports declined to about 15.02 million tons, about 3.5 million barrels of oil per day.
Oil prices rose on Tuesday, extending sharp gains on a bullish demand outlook as U.S. regulators issued their first full approval for a COVID-19 vaccine and Mexico suffered a large production outage. Brent crude oil futures were up $1.50, or 2.2%, at $70.25 a barrel by 13,442 GMT, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate, WTI, gained $1.34, or 2%, to $66.98. Both benchmarks jumped more than 5% on Monday, helped by a weaker dollar, after marking their biggest weekly losses in more than 9 months last week. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Gold prices held steady on Tuesday above the $1,800 per ounce level, helped by speculation that a spike in coronavirus cases may prompt the U.S. Federal Reserve to defer its tapering of monetary stimulus. Spot gold was little changed at $1,804.30 per ounce by 10:56 GMT, after hitting a near 3-week high in the previous session. U.S. gold futures were steady at $1,806.90. The dollar, also considered a safe haven asset, stabilized after falling about 0.6% on Monday, with traders looking ahead to this week's Jackson Hole Federal Reserve Symposium.
Copper prices marched higher for a third session on Tuesday on signs of a rebound in physical demand, but gains were capped by uncertainty ahead of a U.S. central banking conference. 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange gained 0.4% to $9,305.50 a ton in official trading, building on 2 previous sessions of gains, including a 2.6% rise on Monday. The market is suddenly looking stronger. We have buyers out there for the physical stuff, not just the financial players, said Ole Hansen, head of commodity strategy at Saxo Bank in Copenhagen.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Summer sown crop planting in India has been lagging as the country received below normal rainfall, the government said, raising concerns about food grain production in Asia's third biggest economy. India is the world's biggest exporter of rice and top importer of edible oils. A drop in production could not only limit rice and cotton exports, but also boost imports of edible oils such as palm oil, sunflower oil and soy oil. Indian farmers had planted 104.4 million hectares, 25.8 million acres, with summer crops as of August 20, down 1.6% from a year earlier, the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare said in a statement.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.